All right, cool. So, Coach Jose Suarez, Coach Daniel Budu, DB Fit Focused. We're gonna keep doing these little videos here, and we're gonna keep sending it out to our clients and pretty much anybody who needs advice on health and fitness and anything health and fitness related, right? Things to keep you motivated, everything from working out to stretching, recovery, eating, nutrition, and all that good stuff, right? So, what I wanted to talk about today, one of the big things was advice for new clients, right? What advice would you give to somebody that's just wanting to get into training, into personal training? They haven't been doing it for a long time and they might be intimidated to join, they might be intimidated to start because a lot of people, they don't know exactly what we do as personal trainers, right? They don't know that we start with a program, that we start everybody from basics, right? Unfortunately, sometimes you get really bad personal trainers or you have experience with really bad personal trainers at some point in your life. And then they think, well, okay, this is what personal training is. This is what personal training must be based on this, these one or two bad experiences that they had with unprofessional or just personal trainers that didn't have as much knowledge or just bad personal trainers altogether, right? So what advice would you have for people that one, had a bad experience with personal training or never had personal training before? How would you advise them to start?
Well, if you had a bad experience personal training, obviously, not every trainer is the same. I think, giving it a try again, but having having more questions, like reasons why they do certain things that they want to do with you. If the trainer doesn't have a reason why, um, they're just making you move for no actual reason. They're just prescribing you exercises, whether it looks cool or makes you super tired. Um, just have more questions. Like, what is like if I was a client and you're my trainer, what I would want to ask you is like, okay, what is your plan to help me lose weight, or what is your plan to help me put on muscle? Like, what's our week going to be laid out like? What things are you expecting for me to accomplish within this amount of time? And as a trainer, these are things you should be thinking about when you're making a program for someone, anyways. Uh, but definitely, if you had a bad experience, be more aware of like what's going on with you, so that you can also have a say in like what you feel you need from your personal trainer, and be honest with yourself. Like, if you know like you're having pain somewhere, or if you struggle with certain things, like just be honest about it, because if you have someone who's experienced in front of you, they'll be able to help you out with it. um and I know we talked about this before, but sometimes someone who hasn't had a trainer before, kind of like you said, they're usually expecting like a boot camp style all the time, like always to get their butt kicked and then go home really sore, or be sore the next day or next 2 or 3 days. That's not always the right way to go about it. But yeah, for new people, like say someone who isn't like a gym goer, they're just kind of starting out, they do sometimes have like a fear of getting started because they think they're not in good enough shape to even have a personal trainer.
Right.
But that's not the case. We should always have a plan to get you, just like you said, to have some basics to start with. And even if you're a beginner, maybe you might be better at something than you think you are, and we can progress those things, work on your strengths while also building up your weaknesses as well.
Yeah, that's definitely
um
something that you hear a lot, like, oh, I'm not ready for a personal trainer yet, or let me work out a little while before I hire a personal trainer, which to me doesn't make any sense at all to me, man. Like it's, I'm sorry, but it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. For you to say, oh, let me get in better shape before I hire a trainer, that's like saying, let me drive this Formula One race car before I get my driver's license. You know what I mean? Like you have to understand the basics. You have to understand the basic fundamental movements, right? So who better to teach you that than a professional, right? And that's what we do. And personally for me, I love training. I almost, don't get me wrong, like it's super fun It's a lot of fun to train athletes. I love training athletes because it's fast, it's explosive, it's a ton of fun, right? But when you train an athlete, that person's somewhat most likely already in great shape, right?
Right.
Provide, like, they might have little injuries here and there that come up that you can help them with, but the reward factor that you get from somebody that never worked out or didn't have a long workout routine, right? And then they just started working out. The first few weeks, like you said before, those are the people who see fast changes just doing basics, right? So just
Right.
doing the basics within 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, everything starts to change drastically. Their body composition, the way that they move, their functionality, just everything, their personality, because now they're building self-confidence and self-esteem. For me, that's the biggest reward that I get when I train people who don't have a lot of experience. Again,
Right.
I love training athletes, but the immediate reward comes for me from people who don't have a lot of experience.
Got you. Yeah. And also a lot of, some of those bad experiences might also be from having an extended time with a certain trainer also. So maybe it started great. Like you said, someone who's just starting off might see results like right away, but then they might hit a point where they're not getting the same results they're looking for, and they still haven't gotten exactly where they wanted to be. I've seen a lot of times where or even heard a lot of times from clients who've had trainers before who have hit that block, like where they, for the first month, like everything seemed really great. They dropped some pounds, and then all of a sudden, they're still on the same routine or switching routines way too much, not really sticking with something consistent, and then they gain back those pounds, or like they start falling back on the bad habits that they were starting to get better with. Mainly because their program isn't following a progression, or it's not really specifically tailored to them. It's more general, like a cookie cutter program, where that would be the reason why they hit that, like that peak or that plateau at a
And that's
certain point.
that's one of the pet peeves that I have with clients too, man. Like, I always say, it's all about results. It's always about the results. If you're continuously getting results, you're on the right path. I know a lot of times I've seen a lot in my career, like other trainers, where it's inevitable that sooner or later you're gonna get comfortable and you're going to be friendly with your clients, right? Like, you're going to become friends. Some of my best friends now, one of my best friends, it used to be my client years and years ago. And some of my great friends today are clients, right? So I've seen a lot of times when you get super comfortable with your client, the results kind of slow down, or the results kind of change, because you're forming kind of a friendship as opposed to a professional relationship, right? Which is, it's okay to be friends and it's okay to become friendly with your clients, but the results should never stop. If you reach
Right,
the
right.
point where your results are slowing down and you're not getting results, or you're talking more in your sessions, you're conversating more in your sessions than actually working out, then you have a problem. I see a lot of trainers and clients, they train with them for a long time, they become friends, but then they just become kind of complacent, right? It's always, and it will always be about results for me. I don't care how much we can be best friends, but for that 1 hour, it's all about results driven exercises,
Yeah,
right?
I've had clients that don't necessarily really like me, but they do get results, and they're cool with getting their workouts in. But um there are also people that we get along very well. I ran into this a lot more when I first started training, that just like you said, yeah, we become buddies, and I kind of like, I'm a little easier on them missing sessions here and there. But nowadays it's a lot more like I picked up on that. They actually try to be more buddy buddy with you so that they can get away with certain things. But you have to realize that they're making an investment for themselves, and at some point that buddy buddy will go away when they realize how much money they spent and how little of a ways they've gone.
Right.
So it's actually, you know what, you probably will get more respect and uh more value and relationship with the client being so straightforward, way more straightforward with them and honest with them about like them missing out or trying to, slack off here and there. If anything, they should be more appreciative and, kind of understand that, like, where you're coming from, and looking out for their best interests. Because I know for myself, if I'm investing $100+ every hour session, I want to see results. It's cool if we're friends, blah blah blah, we can shoot the shit like during the session sometimes, as long as we're getting our stuff in. But mainly the results is most important. And I'll tell my clients, if they miss 1 or 2 sessions 2 or 3 sessions in a row, like, I'm gonna let them know, like, hey, this is how much, like, you invested in that time and you didn't get anything done on those days because you couldn't make it. And I can understand when work gets in the way, and as long as you let me know ahead of time, we can work things out. But if it's like then and there, something had to have happened where you were just like, I don't want to work out today, and then you're doing yourself a disservice. So I have to make sure, like, I reach out to you and let you know in a way that keeps you in check. So I usually, I don't really, I think I've built better relationships with people in that way, being more honest about, like, and more accountable for them, than if I was just to be like, all right, you don't want to come in today, cool, I got paid, that's fine. Shoot, do it again if you want to. No, it should never be like that. Should always try to be accountable and make sure they get it in, because
we're in this business because we're passionate about fitness. We're passionate about health and fitness, right?
If you ever find that, definitely, man. If you ever find that, like, you're not putting the effort in to help people the way you learn to, and really studied hard and put the time and effort to providing services like that, if you feel like if it's work, like, you should probably find something else to do, straight up, because you're never going to be like, you're always going to feel like you're working to get someone results, as opposed to having a good time doing it, being able to show up with energy every time to a session, so that they can feed off of it and be able to improve themselves because of it. That's my big thing. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And again, this is something that we're extreme. And if you're lucky enough to have a great trainer, or to have been training or trained with a good trainer, you know the difference. Again, I always say, like, passion recognizes passion. If anybody's passionate about anything, it doesn't have to be fitness. It could be, art. It could be whatever you're passionate about. Passion recognizes passion. So whenever I meet another individual that has nothing to do with fitness, I love having conversations with them about what they do, because you can share that passion. Passion is universal, right? You're so enthusiastic about it. You live for it. You're always driven somehow by it, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I like to tell clients to look for when they look for a trainer. If you're a client and at some point in your life you've ever been passionate about something, you know what that feels like, and you know when somebody is passionate about something because of the way they speak about it, the way they live their life, the way that they carry it with them all the time. Right? So look for how passionate that person is about fitness. Does that trainer live the lifestyle? Right? I always say there's a few different types of trainers. There are the trainers who like this lifestyle. They're the trainers who love this lifestyle, and they're the trainers who live this lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's very different, three very different categories. You always want to find yourself a trainer that lives this lifestyle. You know what I mean? That's why I'm big on social media and, like, sharing my life, like my foods, my activities, everything, my life, right? Because I want my clients to know that they're in great hands, that I live this lifestyle, I breathe this lifestyle night and day, and they're in good hands. I want them to know that they can come to me, any question about anything health and fitness related, I want to be their go-to source for it. You know what I mean? Because they know that they can trust me. right? And you're pretty good on social media too. Like, yeah, I see you post your workouts, you post everything from Adapt, the place that you work. I know you
I
work.
tried.
Yeah. So that, which is awesome, man. And for clients out there, always look for the passion in the trainer. Make sure the trainer doesn't just love the lifestyle or talk about the lifestyle. Make sure the trainer lives the lifestyle 100%. Right? Um,
Definitely.
Great. Uh, Something else I want to talk about, setting up realistic goals and the right time frame to accomplish the client's goals, right? Let's say a client wants to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it is. Of course, that's the immediate goal, right? They want to lose weight, they want to look good. Us as trainers, we're going to get them to that goal, absolutely, 100%. But we also know the importance of making sure that they're mobile, making sure that they're flexible, making sure that all these things also speed up their results, right? And which will speed with good form, with good mobility, the results are going to come that much faster because your body is working better, right? Your body's a more tuned machine.
Definitely,
So,
yeah.
what advice would you give clients that, as opposed to realistic goal setting? Like how long should it take? What's realistic?
Well, realistic is for every individual, first of all. Everyone's different. Try not to look at what results everyone else is getting. Focus on yourself. So you might see someone lost like 50 pounds in a month. Chances are they might gain that right back. But uh, realistic to me, like say for example, someone who's trying to lose that 50 pounds. Let's lose 2 to 3 pounds every week and a half or so. uh that's that's something you can set your mind on, dropping your body fat percentage 2 to 3% in the month. That's a pretty good average right there. But um as far as like for setting realistic goals, you have to take your time with it. You have to realize how long it took for you to get from where you felt at your best to get to a point where you weren't necessarily happy with yourself and your body.
Like a
So
time of
if
life, like the time in your life, you mean?
yeah. So like let's say an athlete that went out of shape, someone who was really fit in high school, and from the time they started college to the time they graduated, they put on 100 pounds or something. For that athlete, even let's compare that person to someone who's been gaining weight their whole life through high school and through college. That person who was an athlete before will probably drop that weight a lot faster. They can both be the same weight at the end of that college graduation, but that athlete will probably drop that weight a lot faster than the person who hasn't done anything their whole life. And that's what I mean by like every individual. Everyone's gonna have different results and how fast they get through them. So taking that into account not only lets me know like what things they can do to help them get to where they want to be faster,
Like,
but
are they starting from scratch, or did they have some type of muscle memory, some type of training at some point in their life?
well, maybe it may not have to be like specifically like actual training, but just the amount of activity that they were doing, like how active they were on a daily basis compared to someone who probably was not active at all their whole life, probably even actually avoiding it, if anything. Let's say they're both the same age, same weight. The athlete is most likely, they know what it is to feel tired or feel a burn in their muscles and how to push through things, as opposed to someone the second they feel like the tension in their muscles, they might think it's pain or like they're getting hurt, and that might slow down the process a little bit. That's something they got to get used to.
Got it. So
It
it's
would
it's
take
like
longer to get used to.
it's familiarity versus being not being familiar with it, right?
Right. And s- someone might lose a lot of weight really quick, but if they're not maintaining it, it might come right back a lot quicker too. So a lot of people are looking for quick results, but having a progression throughout the year, because it doesn't stop. Like like fitness doesn't stop. You have to put in an effort to to be your best self every day. Uh, Even if you have, you have like your cheat meals and stuff. But what I mean is like putting your best foot forward so that you can create longevity and live your best life, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. So
Um,
I think it's definitely a lifestyle, right? And we all try to promote that healthy lifestyle. Um, but as far as like I think realistic goals, I think you're correct when you say it depends on not just your training, when you're training with your trainer, one, two, three times a week, whatever it might be. It depends on what you're doing in your own time. That's going to determine how quickly you get those results,
right,
right?
right,
So if you're just training with your trainer, let's say best case scenario, you're with a trainer. Let's look at our 3 time a week clients. You're training with us 3 times a week. That's 3 times a week. You're guaranteed a ton of calorie burning, great workouts, a great routine for that particular day, right? You still have 4 days on your own that you can, based on what you do or don't do, you can either completely complement what we do in our training sessions or reset everything we did in the training sessions, right?
right,
You could undo everything we did if you just eat like shit the 4 days. If you don't continue to do like basic minimal mobility, flexibility stretching, like a little bit of
right, right.
stretching goes a long way, right? So that's another thing I like to tell my clients, like the results don't stop, or we don't, your lifestyle does not stop after the training session is complete, right? Because it's so, again,
Right.
I kind of like to compare it to what we do as trainers with clients is kind of like the trigger that starts everything off. It's the trigger that begins the process, but the
Definitely,
process
yes.
has to continue on your own. We just give you that big push, but then we also, as if you have great trainers, and all of us at DB Fit Focused, we give you the guidelines that you need to continue even when you're not with us. This is what you should do on the days that you're not with us. This is what you should eat on the days that you're not with us.
Yep.
This is the time frame that you should eat it in, right? So what we try to do at DB Fit Focus is take all the guesswork away so that you could accomplish optimal results, right? So
Definitely.
you don't have to wonder what you have to do when you're not with us. You know exactly what to do when you're not with us, right? So I think realistically speaking, how well you abide by those rules is going to determine how quickly your results kick in. Um,
Definitely, definitely.
and
I always want, of course, as trainers, we want our clients to stick with us forever. That would be amazing. But the end goal for me, I would love, I would be satisfied if someone stopped training with me because and told me the reason was because they feel comfortable being in the gym doing their own thing now. Like if someone told me that, I'll be happy. Like especially if there's someone that was new to it in the first place, and now they're telling me that they feel comfortable going in, planning out their own workouts. That would be great. And
yeah,
that's kind of what I build towards when I go through the workouts. If they're not training with me during that day, I definitely like to provide some type of homework to do where they're still keeping movement going for just that same reason, like you said, just having that extra accountability so that
yeah.
they'll have something in front of them that they can do on the days that we're not there to watch them.
I've actually had that
Yeah.
happen to me. I've had a client. She's based in New York, and I met her at Equinox a few years ago, and we train virtually as well. But she kind of, when she feels like she needs an extra push, she'll come and she'll train, and then she'll leave and she'll do her own thing. And she just the other day she sent me a picture from Equinox. She was working out in the free weight section with all the guys, and she sent it to me. She's like, thank you so much for giving me the knowledge and the courage to work out with these dumbbells and work out in the men's section, as she calls it, right?
Oh,
Which is not, everybody can work out there. And that makes me feel amazing as a trainer. Like my job is
right.
accomplished. Like that's what we're in the business for, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if they leave us, we know that they're leaving us with the knowledge that they're not going to hurt themselves, they're not going to injure themselves, and they're going to continue to get benefits, right? From
Right.
it. So I always say, man, people hire trainers for a few reasons. Either they know what to do in the gym, but they just don't have the motivation, so they hire a trainer. or they have the motivation, but they don't know what to do. So you hire a trainer for a while. Or worst case scenario, they don't have any of that. They don't know how to do it, and they don't have the motivation to do it. And that's when, you know,
Right.
personal trainers kick in there. So those are like the three main reasons people would get a personal trainer. And also, it's not, let's be honest, it's not cheap, right? Like our expertise isn't cheap. So we don't expect, I mean, don't get me wrong, we love when clients stay with us for years. I've had clients that I've trained for years, but I understand also, you know, if you just want to do it for a month or two, get your confidence, get the knowledge, and then do it on your own. 100%, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that you guys are not hurting yourselves when you're out there and you're getting
Right.
those kind of results, right? And
Right.
and that's pretty much it, guys. The whole goal of DB Fit Focused and all of our trainers is to help our clients make this a lifestyle. And that's it. Once you've incorporated this as a lifestyle and it just becomes a part of your everyday, and it doesn't have to be an intense workout every day. It could just be like just awareness and mindfulness, right? Let me abide by the 5 p.m. rule today. Let me not have anything processed after 5 p.m. Let me do a little bit of stretching today. That's a win. That's when it's no longer a chore or a task, and it's now a lifestyle. And then the results, without knowing it, like the results start pouring in. Before you know it, you've lost all the weight you wanted to lose. You feel way better, right? You're more flexible, you're more mobile, you have more energy because you're going to bed a little bit earlier at night. You're getting your 7-8 hours of sleep. And that's when you could check the box, like you have a fitness lifestyle now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and the way that you
Definitely.
look, and you know, the way that you look in your clothes, the way that you look naked, that's just a bonus, right? Everybody, let's be honest, everybody has a little bit of vanity, right? And everybody wants to look good in and without their clothes on. And that's the
Yeah,
bonus.
100%.
That's the bonus of having a healthy lifestyle. That comes with having a healthy lifestyle. Not to say that you cannot have a healthy lifestyle if, you know, you have a little bit higher percentage of body fat, if you have some curves. No, it's about how you feel and perform on a daily basis. Me, personally, probably you yourself, I perform better mentally and physically when I have a solid routine, a fitness routine going. When my eating's on point, when my sleep is on point, when my workouts are on point, I feel way better. Like I feel like I'm firing at 100%. My mind is a lot more sharp. I'm more attentive to clients. I'm more attentive in my relationships. I'm more attentive in my friendships. I'm just a better overall person when I have that solid routine down, right?
Yeah, 100%. Planning is everything sometimes, like just keeping up with your schedule. And, you know, we're big on that. That's a big part of what we do is keeping our schedule on point because we can be pretty flexible and then all over the place. But I agree, man. Like it's awesome to have people that want to work with you. So to put your best foot forward and give it all you got so that they can get their results is a big reason why I do what I do. But I plan ahead a lot too, like as far as like people's workouts, what to expect on a daily basis. Like it it can be my downfall at times where I plan a lot in my day and want to get it done. But if you set the bar high, maybe even a little higher than you should, you at least reach a point higher than you probably would if you never set a bar in the first place.
100%, man.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
famous line by Kanye West in one of his early songs, early Kanye West, not like today's Kanye West, like early
Oh,
Kanye
I
West,
want to hear it now. I want to hear
where he
it.
says, you know this line. He says, "Reach for the skies, so in case you fall, at least you land on a cloud."
Yes, yes.
Right? Something along those lines. And I always remember that when he says like reach for the skies, because if you reach high enough, even if you fall, you won't end up where you started off at, right?
Exactly. When I run into people that like, you know, they have low expectations of themselves or they seem like to have low self-esteem or confidence issues, I feel like that's such great advice, you know, to have high expectations of yourself. Because if you believe in yourself to do things that you didn't even think possible, like you push yourself towards it, make the effort every day to. I'm an example for myself for this. You will get to a place where you want to be. It might not be exactly at the tip top where you expected, but if you really reach up there, you never know. Because to be honest, man, like for me in the personal training business, I didn't think I was gonna be here. I thought I was gonna be doing maintenance for the rest of my life, or getting into like leasing consulting, stuff like that, where I didn't see myself being really happy, but I guess making money. But um, I set the bar high for myself one day when I just made the investment to get my certification. And I had in my head, one day I'm going to train professional athletes. One day I'm going to train professional athletes. That's what I have set in my head. And the beauty of it is like today, no, I don't train any professional athletes yet. I work with a couple uh, actual athletes, but I have found like a love for training, anyone, getting everyone to get from their point A to point B is very satisfying. And just like you said, it's one of the better feelings in our industry when you get someone to find results. Almost better for someone who's not necessarily an athlete that just wants to feel better about themselves in general. Athletes are already confident. They have confidence.
Yeah.
You kind of have to. That comes with the job, or else you can't perform. While other people they really need to build that confidence.
Yeah,
So
I had a boss once that
yeah,
said
go ahead.
something when in my early stages of being a personal trainer. He said something I thought it was kind of cheesy and kind of corny at the time, but the older I got, I was like, yeah, 100%. And he's like, when somebody asks you like, what's your job or what's your profession? He says, I'm in the business of changing people's lives. And at the time, I was like, okay, that's cute. A little bit corny, but it's cute. But the older I got and the more experience I had in personal training, and when I literally started changing people's lives and them giving me feedback and telling me, oh my God, I'm so happy I can walk around without back pain. I can walk around without knee pain. I can jump now. I can work out. I can play with my grandkids. You know what I mean? That for me, that's massive, man. That's huge. If I can give somebody the gift of a healthy lifestyle, you know what I mean? That's a win, man. Like the important things, people say health is wealth. 100% health is wealth, man. Because if you're not healthy and you're not performing as you should, everything else takes a hit, right? You're gonna go to work every day in pain, or you're gonna feel fatigued, you're gonna be tired, you're just gonna have a really kind of a fucked up life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
if we can change one thing at a time, one habit at a time, right? From a health and fitness standpoint. After a few months, you're going to see some really, really amazing results in your everyday life with your family and with everybody. Awesome stuff, man. That's it.
Definitely.
This is our first video blog slash video cast. We're going to be sending this to clients, and we're going to be posting it on social media just to kind of help people stay motivated, right? And just to give them the knowledge and advice for free, right? Or with their membership or whatever. This is at no extra cost. Thank you so much, brother, for participating and giving us your words and letting us know from your point of view and your perspective.
Thank you. I would definitely like to add, as far as for the DB Fit fam and those that follow us, like send us messages if you see, regardless of whether it's straight directly to Daniel Boodoo. You guys should know who the coaches are. You got me and Noemi. DM us, like if you have any questions about virtual training, because there usually is a lot of questions about virtual training specifically, like how well it works, or how do you even get results without your trainer being there in person. Just ask us. Like we have answers. We've been doing this for a while, especially Daniel. So yeah, reach out to us, and
Yeah,
we'll help you get started.
We're here to guide and help you guys, man. That's what we're here. And again, this is our passion, and this is what we do, and we can do this with our eyes closed because this is what we love to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining. Just stay on the line for a little bit, but I'll stop recording. DB Fit Focus family, stay healthy. Keep doing what you need to do. All right, guys? Peace.